welcome back again, and I'm here in Union Station in Chicago, and it's a cold day outside, but it's pretty warm out here. Exciting technology. Markos, the founder of a great product and called Fun with Balls. Now there's a story behind that, but I would like to share with you a story, as we always bring, the human story behind a startup and innovative product, how they come to market, how they kind of genesis of that, and we'll talk about that, and Markos will describe a little bit about the background of where he comes from and what led to this. So I'll hand it over to Markos and talk about what he has to share.
So hi, my name is Markos. I'm from the company called Fun with Balls, and yes, that's the real name, and it has a reason. First of all, because it's funny and we like good stuff. And second, if you want to change sports from the ground up, you need some pretty big balls. So what you see here, now it's just been switched off, is an interactive squash system. So we started in squash. We're a company that focuses on immersive gaming setups for sports. So we merge real sports and real gaming to be like really into one experience. So not like a Wii. You don't pretend to do a sport. You're doing the sport like these guys are doing down there, which is the current world number 3 and his trainer. And we make gaming sort of so much integrated in the sport that you really want to go and you really want to have a hit and you forget the time. It's highly addictive, and yeah, anybody who has ever played a computer game knows what it is.
I was talking to Markos, and what came to my mind is that every founder has epiphany. There's an idea that came to your mind one day, and you probably woke up or may not. You have been working for years and months, and then suddenly in the bathroom or in the cafeteria, this idea just popped open. So what is the story behind Fun with Balls and this technology projecting on the wall? What led to this?
Well, my background is I started my first company in like projection technologies, events, lasers, interactive setups, a lot of programming. So it was always very much for me about like how can you make like big experience visually impactful.
Right.
And I also always had a big problem with motivating myself to sports.
Right.
I'm very hyperactive. I'm very short attention span, just like anybody else nowadays. So for me to be keeping up a sport on a daily basis was always super hard. But then again, like I like to play. I'm highly competitive. So the idea was just like how can you merge these two elements to have something like you obviously play a little bit of a game here every day.
Right.
Why don't you do that with getting your sweat on? Being healthy, the whole thing, like we all know it's very important for
Absolutely.
our bodies nowadays to at least get
Exercise.
a little bit
Right.
exercise once or twice a week.
Right.
So yeah, it was just connect those two things and make a highly fun and engaging thing.
Wonderful. So this is very interesting, Markos, and it's a great debut in Chicago. I don't know if you guys already debuted all other places in the US, but coming first time in Chicago at the Union Station?
With the event and our technology, Chicago is the first. Yes, we have a couple of ports in New York, but we're just slowly starting to get a foot onto the continent.
So tell me more about the pilot with the PSA and everything going on, and where do you go from here?
Well, I mean, for us, it was always very important to have like the system to be like show the full spectrum from gaming to like super pro games. So for us to work with the PSA, and they were very happy to work with us because we're also the poster child of making the sport cool again.
Right.
So this is the biggest squash tournament that's ever been held. It's 1 million prize money right here at Union Station. And for us, this is super important because it sort of marks the point where we like fully integrate in the sport. At this point, we even have like the impacts of showing like what happens during the matches.
Oh, wow.
So it's the first time that a sport actually doesn't use technology just for the viewers or
Right.
the spectators or the analytics after.
Got
It
it.
fully integrates. You get the heat maps in real time.
Okay.
You have advertisement that reacts to the balls. You have
Sure.
kids come on court, play in between. So the entertainment aspect of what it is we do as a whole platform, as a whole technology, here is like shown from the very one point to the very end point.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so this is the best part of any startup or any idea coming to life is that there's an entertainment aspect of it, right? And we call it fun, something that is fun, unique, and memorable.
Yeah.
So I think you have all the attributes of fun in this technology.
Yeah, I mean, fun is it's sort of our philosophy. When we, for example, if I pitch at an event, for me it's always like sports and tech are such a good mix. Like
Right.
they're so logical.
Right.
The problem is many other things nowadays. You have like a smart golf racket and it's nice, and the golf player that's already playing the sport
right.
is going to be like, okay, I'm going to use that a couple of times to see my Excel sheet of what my good swing was.
Right.
But it hardly brings new people into the experience.
Right.
Like no kid would wake up in the morning and say, Mom, I want to be a golf player now because I saw there's an app that measures my golf swing. Whereas what we try is like we really like drastically focus on it needs to be super crazy fun, and I'm like wake up in the morning like Mom fun, and when you get that,
Yes.
then it really works, and then you get people moving as well.
Right. So Markos, recently you were saying that you have got a lot of hyping going on, a lot of traction, a lot of awareness and PR going on. So can you tell me what is leading to that? What's going on with that?
Well, when we started, we always focused on the squash court as our training grounds, and we always said we want to make sure that, like, we want to prove that it's possible to turn a whole sport around. Like the whole thing, squash has not been doing great internationally, and we said once we have that, we're going to go into other sports. And a lot of people are always like, yeah, everybody says that. You have one solution now in squash. It's logical to have the wall, blah blah. And then 2 months ago, we launched multi-ball, which is a 4.5 by 3 meter wall. You can put it anywhere. It's like a giant touchpad. It's super easy to install. You can do it yourself. You can put it in schools, restaurants, hotels, like wherever you want to have people, wherever you have a wall. And it sort of happens that now everybody got like, oh my God, like this is not just squash, it can go anywhere. And like we're talking with the Danish schooling system right now, how to integrate it into the curriculum. The University of Den Haag is working on it, like to research how kids can learn movement better.
Oh wow.
So it just opened up the whole world that we always were like talking about, but you know how it is with startups. People are like, yeah, they're gonna take it to 25 other markets. Let's see about that. And yeah, seems like
that's a very exciting.
Got what we're doing.
So what we always see that how the startup, the use cases are expanding. So you're scaling the use case, you're adding new use cases coming on board, and some might just pivot, and some might just scale like crazy, like a hockey stick. So that's where the future lies.
We have 8 things in the pipeline right now.
Wow.
Also different patents, also completely different technologies. Pretty sure 2 or 3 of them might even be like we probably after a year say, okay, it wasn't worth it. But yeah, I mean, we did really well with squash. Now we're trying to do the same thing in a lot of other sports.
So I'm here covering this technology and talking about it and presenting to my viewers and other people who are interested on fun with balls. I'll put the website address in here, and we should all wish Markos and his team great luck, best wishes, so you succeed absolutely 7th heaven. Go and make a boatload of money, feet, and accolades and kudos, and all the best.
Thanks, man. It was a pleasure being here.
Absolutely.